Welcome, everybody. Settle in. Get yourself a beverage, something, beer, coffee, wine, whatever you got to do. Come have a seat and let me dribble some sweet, sweet liberty onto you like you are a warm stack of pancakes. And I'm just putting log cabin syrup on top of you, ready to eat it up. So, I've addressed this topic before, way before, in older videos explaining how leftism has become a cult. And I think it's important that I address it again, because it's getting worse. So, let's jump right into it, shall we? Here's the problem. You can't talk to a leftist. They are so dug in now. It doesn't matter facts, truth, logic. It doesn't matter how much you show them evidence to at least show a different perspective on something that they've got. So let's take abortion. Let's start there. Personally, I've addressed my personal stance on abortion, which I used to have a much more hard stance that abortion was wrong and it should not be legal. But now I am to the point to where I still think abortion is murder, but I don't care if you kill your own kids. Just don't try to kill my kids, okay? So that's where I'm at. But you cannot have a different stance with a leftist because they are so embedded, just like a religion, that they will say, they'll bring up this, it's a woman's body, it's her right to choose. They're going to come with the argument of, what about the mother's health, which is actually a stronger argument. But still, if mother's health is involved, but the child can be saved, I don't think we should just go ripping the baby apart with a chainsaw or whatever we got to do, coat hanger, just to save the mother. So you can't bring up any other logical arguments, or they'll just shame you. And they'll call you every name in the book. You're a sexist, misogynist. You don't care about women. You don't care about their rights. And I'm like, well, yeah, I do, because a lot of these babies are female that are being aborted. So I actually do care quite a bit. But, like I said again, the abortion issue, it's your baby. You want to kill it? Go ahead. I hope your soul rots in hell. If you believe in hell. So there's that issue. Immigration is the hot ticket right now. It's the big hot button issue. Politicians have been talking about it for decades, since Ronald Reagan. Democratic representatives have voted for border security. They voted for walls, fences, borders, whatever you want to call it. Now everybody, the trigger is wall. You can't say wall because now there's all this negative connotation attached to wall. And that's how they do it. Just like a religion. They take a word, they figure out a way to shame it, then it sticks to your head. Now you can't wear a red hat or any other colored hat that says Make America Great Again on it because it's attached to racism. And I'm like, well, these are just symbols. People who are ultra religious, maybe they're Christian, might carry a little crucifix, a guy nailed to a cross. To them, that is symbolism of Jesus dying for your sins, or for their sins. Whoever sins, everybody sins. If you believe in Jesus, that's the story. So their symbolism is much more hateful and negative, because they see statues, flags, stickers, hats. They see these things as racial or negative, hateful, pretty much every negative connotation you can think of, because that is something that they have brewed in their own mind. And then now it has been embedded into leftist culture. And it is a culture, but it is also a cult and religion, religious cult. And they're more of a cult because Christianity as a whole is far less dangerous than it has ever been. You don't see, of course the Klan, they were Christian, but you don't see a lot of guys running around in white hoods anymore. Not to say that there aren't some. I'm sure there's some, but it doesn't seem to be a big deal. I don't really know any racists. Maybe one or two. Maybe somebody in Viter I met one time. But I don't fuck around in Viter, so because there's probably some racist assholes there. So I don't fuck around in those areas because I happen to be kind of brown. So you can't talk about immigration, border walls, any of that stuff because of all the negative connotation. This is how I do it, and they're creating a cult because they're dangerous. Because now they don't want to just disagree with you. They want to change you. You must adhere to their own set of morals. And they want to force it on you. You can't have a border because you're racist. You are a misogynistic xenophobe. Because you want to protect your country. Oh, and now you're a nationalist. We'll just change the connotation on that word to spin it into something negative. You're a nationalist, so now you're bad. And it's not just Orange Man bad. You're bad. You and your friends, you're all filthy, disgusting, deplorable jerks. Racist, every ist in the book. You can't argue about gender either. And say, hey, you have a penis. You can produce sperm. You're male. I don't care how many dresses you wear, what color you turn your hair. What do you want to call yourself? I don't care what you want to call yourself. But when you go to the doctor and we have to fix a problem with your body, you're going to be identified as male. All the way down to your chromosomes. Same thing with female. We can count your ribs and tell that you're female. If you can produce an egg, you're a female. But you can't argue with them about that because it goes against their religion. Leftism is a religion. And I guarantee you, I don't care what gender you want to call yourself, worm, self, otherkin, their, zir, zay, whatever. Don't care. Don't care. But don't enforce it on to me. And that's where we're having a problem. And that's where all of this cult is getting dangerous. This Dean walking around over here. Go back over there. Go to your room. Good boy. No, go in your room. It's becoming dangerous because they want to enforce their own morality onto everybody else. And here is a stupid kicker. They hate Christians too. Oh my God, do they hate Christians? Because most of these people are atheists and they don't understand that they have just adopted a new religion. They left the old traditional religion and have created a new one. But here's what's funny about this open borders thing, and I brought it up to somebody the other day, and they looked at me like I had just come from another planet. And I said, how can you be against Christianity? You don't like Christians. You don't like traditional marriages. What is it? Standard male-female relationships. Traditionalist values. You are importing hundreds of thousands of Catholics into America. Do people like, what planet are you from? Do you not know that these people are Catholic? They're usually very traditionalistic. The only reason they're voting Democrat is because they don't know any better yet. And sooner or later, here's the double standard. Sooner or later, the left is going to eat those people too. Because they're going to, we welcomed you in and we want you, but, all of this straight, cis, whatever, heterosexual relationships and all that you got, and all this Jesus you guys like, we don't like it. We're going to swat that down too. Because we already told you we didn't like it. We thought you would just change and adopt our way. and become atheist and become a leftist. It ain't going to happen. So these people that are being led in here by their nose saying, yeah, come over here. We got all the free shit. Whatever. And we're like, oh, no, we're going to punch you in the face when we find out that you're Christian. Because you're not adhering to our new morality. It's bad. They're attacking, the left is literally trying to reshape Western society. And how do you do that? You end nationalism. You end anything traditionalistic, anything that was considered American. You have to demonize that. The family structure, got to ruin that too, because that's all part of traditionalism. They're destroying it. It's a cult. They're dangerous, and I think that sooner or later it's going to become violent. I really don't see any way around it, and I'm not calling for war. I would rather have this done peacefully. But if you notice, if you're sort of on the right wing like I am now, which I haven't, I came up being a classical liberal. And now I'm considered a right-winger because I haven't moved. I didn't go with all my leftist friends to the leftist loony bin. And so I've lost a bunch of friends. They're like, well, how dare you? And it's just like Jehovah's Witness or any one of those other cults. The non-believers must be shamed. Outcast. So, and I'm like, well, you're outcasting me? Fuck you, I'm outcasting you. Because I think you're nuts. And I want you to get away from my family. And that's how bad it is. I used to tolerate it, like, he's a leftist. He says a bunch of crazy shit. Now I'm not tolerating it. Get the fuck away from me. Because I know I can't talk to you. You won't listen to reason. If you are a leftist, I know. And I know that it's not all, because there are some people who can be swayed, but they're very few. The left is very dug in. So, that's where I'm at with that today. I figured I ran on that just a little bit. So, hopefully I didn't depress you too much with that. But I'll probably make some more videos and do some more ranting, because I've got a lot to say lately. And now that I'm spending time remodeling my house, I'll probably do this every morning for a little bit. So, like, share, subscribe, or argue with me down below. If you want to fight, I can use the English language pretty well, and I will take my liberty to call you a fucking turd if you are being such. But if you want to be cool, agree, whatever. But do so down there. Holler at me. Until next time, remember this. I might not be right, but I guarantee you I'm not lying. See you later. Defend the faith.